Welcome everybody, Weighted to Win on Monday. Betway's Weighted to Win, and it is out in Quebec at Fairview Racecourse. We have an 8-race program. They're on the turf, and Nino Podesta standing by to take us through all of the action. 069 164 3272 is the number, 069 164 3272, that's correct. And then, of course, you've got the QR code to get your Betway account up and running. There you go, just hold up your camera, scan away, takes you straight to the website, and you can start activating. Well, let's take a look at the first. Betway this morning, you've got number 9, Tanzanite as the favourite. It's 19 to 10. It's over 1,000 metres dash. It is, of course, up the straight because it's on a turf track. One Night in Japan is 4 to 1, second favourite, joined with the 3 Fantasy Girl 4 to 1. And number 7, Sombriel, is trading next best in at 11 to 2. Good morning, Nino.
Good morning, Clyde. How are you doing?
Good. How are we looking for Bipots, the opener? What's the plan?
Well, Clyde, Tanzanite looks like the right horse here. 19 to 10, a little bit short, but she does look like the horse to beat. She only tired late over the 1200, so I think the drop to distance to 1,000 is going to suit her. But I also respect number 7, Sombriel, with the blinkers on. Excuses last time over the 12. She's also back over the 1,000 where she ran second to North Star. That's fancied later on the card. So those are the 2 for me, Clyde, 7 and 9. Fantasy Girl, talking about Fantasy Girl, I don't quite think they got the distance right yet with her. And Night in Japan, the last round was a bit of a shocker. So I think 7 and 9 will be sufficient to survive the bipod.
Okay, thanks for that. That's the first race on the card, as you heard from Nino. Tanzanite is going in there, together with the 7 Sombriel. They're both going in, 7 and 9 in the first leg of the bipod. We did see that from the form line of Wishes and Dreams, that horse came out and won Haze and Smoke, so that certainly will help a little bit in terms of Tanzanite. And then a jockey up on the other one. Let's see, the bipod cost 216 Rand. On to race number 2 now. It's a maiden plate, and it's over 1,200 on the turf. The second race at the start of the PA should run at about 10 past 1. This morning, we're doing it a Monday morning, that is, and let's have a look at the Betway market quickly to give you an idea as to what's going on. 12 Pop Chart tops the boards. It's 8 to 10, so an odds-on favourite in the Gavin Smith, also that Craig Zaki's riding. 8 Casino King, a second choice at 5 to 1, together with number 10 Diamond Jim, first timer from the Alan Kreev stable. But the market has got it quite easy to back at this point in time, and it's 12 to 1 and better about the balance. Pop Chart, Nino, in the red, good enough, or what's the play?
Yeah, I think I should have banked this in the bipod as well. I did bank it in the PA, and studying the form further this morning, I think he's going to take a power of beating, and whatever beats him will win the race. I just had the respect for number 10, Diamond Jim by Madam Speaker. I don't know if you remember that filly, top-class filly that was trained by Doris Sham. So that interested me a little bit. And then also the combination of Muzi Denny and Justin Snaith, always dangerous. I put 8, 10 and 12 in the bipod, but for those that want to bank a number 12 Pop Chart, I think they're on the right track.
Okay, there's Nino's PA for now. Banker 12, Banker 1 by 167, by 249, by Banker 4, by 135, by 458 and 9. That costs 108 Rand. Okay, now they're going 1,400 metres on the Fairview track, and it's the start of the Pick 6. Important scratching. That horse, American Matador, number 2's not running. And number 1, El Capitan's the favourite here, priced up at 14 to 10 to win it. Cliffy Miller and Marco van Rensburg. In terms of the conditions of the race, El Capitan is the best in. 3, Peep de Oro, ready to crack it, 17 to 10, ultra consistent, Nino. And I wonder if it comes down to those 2. I see the market's got number 8, American Action America, I beg your pardon, who's priced up at 22 to 10, who's the next best in. Chad Little's riding that for Jean Nel. Does that have to go in the play as well?
Yeah, I think you should put all 3 in, Clyde. I mean, if you want to make sure of doubling up in in the bipod. El Capitan is my first choice, but please note that there is a comment going around that Cliffy Miller might have a virus in his stable. So the punters out there, just keep an eye on that and see what happens with that going further today. Perk de Horde, all his run on the poly. Let's see how he goes on the turf, but he does have a jockey up today in Richard Fourie, has to be respected. And Action America with Trade Little up. Ran a cracker last time. I think all three have to go in, but I am in the camp of number one, El Capitan. I think the Durban form is strong. Early in his career, there's been quite a few winners out of his form lines earlier on. Even the runs behind Talk to the Master and View of the World.
Okay, remember, American Matador not running, so if Tote Favourite wins, we double up in Nino's pick six in the first leg. He's got a pick six banker, as you can see later on in the day. Race number 4 is a 96 handicap over the 1400, runs at 20 past 2. Interesting horse in Strathclyde. He's just joined where the Alan Creeve stable now, ex-Tony Riverland. Richard Fourie is riding him. And he does, I've always got the impression with his action and his stride that maybe a track like Fairview might be to his liking. It'll be interesting to see how he plays out today. Strathclyde is a very nice horse. He's had 16 or 15 starts, in which he's won 4 and placed on the other 4 occasions. So not a bad sort at all. I see he's still owned by the Liley family and Greg Blank and Gary Pierre, Daryl Utah, and who else is in them? Mr. Nick and Val McPhail. So quite a few involved, and I'm sure they're going to be pretty keen to see how this goes. Nino, what does the stable say?
They're very strong with this, and this could be another possible banker. Unfortunately, I did my selections before I spoke to the people, and but I know he's strongly fancied, and I had a look, and there's been a big in support for it, and you can see why, Clyde. Just have a look at what he's run behind. If he brings this form to PE today, I think it will be a procession, especially the race, the run when he ran through to Gladiatorian, and he's run behind horses like William Robertson and Pete William Rufus. If this horse is well, and I've been told that he is, then it should be a procession here, I think. Imaginable, won both races in PE, but he's going up in class. And then obviously Lentra Ferme, who I think might find the 1400 a bit on the sharp side. I think he would prefer the 1600. So all in all, again, according to what I've heard, a straight Clyde, very hard to beat. I make the dangers 6 and 7.
Okay, well, he's likely to jump. Look, he jumps from that stall gate, but he's likely to go to the front, I would imagine. That's his action, that's his style, that's how he normally runs. It'll be interesting to see how Richard finds himself after they jump. Strathclyde, the horse to beat. Race 5. Now we go to a 1600, this particular event on the turf. And Betway's Market this morning have got number 4, Star of Elena, the favourite at 5-2 to win this. Number 9, Chronicles of Narnia, is the second choice. At 3-1 might be the horse to beat. 8, Courageous, is in here at 9-2. 1, Cherry for Me, is at 7-1. 8-1 about number 2, Such a Life. Number 3, Just for You, is trading at 8-1. And then I think it's 10-1 and better about the balance of the runners in this particular event. Nino, 1600, they go the mile. I thought a competitive race. I like a little bit of Chronicles of Narnia, but I guess there are a few that have to go into the play.
Yeah, Clyde, I agree with you. I found this a bit of a trappy race, but in saying that, and I think it's a bit of a jockey strike, and that at a good price, and that is number 2, Such a Life. They've been running it over the wrong surface, last couple of runs. Yes, She's Gonna Love been back on the turf over the 1600. A couple of runs back, you can see she ran third to Splice, a main brace, and third to State Secret. And I think 8-1 is a nice price, a lurker, not to be left out of any bets. But in saying that, I think it's trappy. Try and load up as much as you can here. Obviously, Chronicles of Narnia, I agree with you. I think that's the filly or the mare to beat. but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a result here.
Okay, you spotted Such a Life. She's come down quite a bit in the ratings. I see she now runs off a 70. She was once what was she, an 82 not too long ago. And Louis Mokotwa has been riding particularly well. He's on her for Sharon Kotzen. She's at 8-1 at the moment. She goes into the first leg of the jackpot. Nino's jackpot 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9, the first leg. So is Golden Grey the horse to beat? Well, Nino's got it bankered in, I think, all of his exotics over here. Let me have a look at the Betway market this morning, and they've got this horse priced up at 13-10. I don't know if it was any bigger than that. Nino can tell us if it was or wasn't. Alan Greef and Richard Farid. This horse has been in very good form. Its last few starts, he's won quite impressively over the mile and the 14. Richard is back on him now for Alan Greef, and he is likely the likely winner of the race. 3, Cheerful Charlie B is the next in at 5-1. Number 1, Blackberry Breeze is trading at 6-1. So is the number 2, One Giant Leap, also at 6-1. And the 5, Pyro Edition, you can get a bit of 10s, as you can about number 6, Flash Lightning at 10-1. Was this horse longer in the odds, Nino? Did they back this into 13-10, or was that out opened?
No, I think it opened a little bit shorter, Clyde, to be honest with you. I think it was 12-10 or so, drifted a little bit to 13-10. I could be corrected. I'm not 100% sure, but he was in the region of 12, 13-10 or thereabouts. Not much there. I think he's found the winning formula in his last 2 runs, Clyde, and definitely the 1600 been by the non-platina out of a Fort Worth mare, I think it's going to be even better for him. He did win over 1600 on the poly, but the last run was very impressive when Sumonga Kamala won with him. I think he could have won by much further. I cannot see anything challenging him for the win here. Probably Cheerful Charlie B, Flash Lightning, and then maybe the newcomer to these. But I think whatever beats Golden Grey will win. I'm strong in the camp of Golden Grey, and also to add that I have been given a bit of confidence on it.
Okay, so Golden Grey, the one to beat. That's our play of the day. Thanks, Nino. So is it Buffalo Bill and North Star? Are those the two that are going to fight it out? This is a handicap at the 66. It's over 1,200 metres. Buffalo Bill's got the inside gate to jump from. Chase Mojan's riding that for Tyra Lang. And, well, North Star does jump middle gate, but she's only had the one start. She seemed to be very impressive, and she won quite well on that occasion. What hasn't really worked out is the form. There have been quite a lot of runners from that maiden form line, and not one of them have come to win. That's probably, if one has to have some kind of reservation, perhaps it's that. Whereas on the other hand, Buffalo Bill, straight off the maiden win, come out to run a cracking second, almost beat Danish Dynamite on that occasion. And subsequently, there's been a winner from that form line. So I guess the question is it just those two, Nino, or are you looking deeper?
Clyde, yeah, well, the 3-year-old, you got the 3-year-old gelding Buffalo Bill against the 3-year-old filly, North Star. Now, as you pointed out quite correctly, Buffalo Bill is the one to be with on the form lines, and because it's a gelding, and he's only getting 1.5 kilos from North Star. There's been no winners out of the North Star form line. We'll see how that one in the first goes today. Sombriel, that might frank this form, but I'm still in the camp of Buffalo Bill out of the two. The horse that interests me a little bit is the newcomer to the course, Visa's on Fire. But here again, we've got to just take note whether this will run today from the Cliffy Miller stable. Like I said, apparently a virus there, so I don't know if he's going to scratch it or not. But if it runs, I think that could cause the upset. 1, 3, and 5, Clyde, we should be okay.
Okay, we got those. Thanks for that, Nino. As you heard, Nino just cautioning the Cliff Miller stable. Allegedly something going on over there, but I'm sure they will let us know in due course of the day. But 1, 3, 5 from Nino is how we're playing this trifecta. All right, so we've got a few that are trying the Eastern Cape for the first time here today. Horse like Exquisite, for example, who comes from the Crawford stable, is now with Alan Greef. Richard Fourie is riding that. And there's another one that I saw in here. Big Boy Bruce, who comes from Fani Bronkhorst, is now with Sharon Kotzen. I don't think it's too bad a horse, this. I know current form not the greatest, but perhaps just worth paying attention to. And there is one other that's only had one run from the Zitz Oosthuizen stable, was previously with Roy Magna, but might continue improving now that Wayne Agrella's on it, a horse called Tokyo Medaglia. But let's get an update from Nino. Just a reminder that the 1 and the 6 are not running here. The Betway market, quickly before we go to Nino, is that number 4, Exquisite's 5-2 this morning, Nino. 7-2, number 5, Igu Galetu. Number 12, Silvery Surfer, is at 9-2. You can get 8-1 about Big Boy Bruce. Not a bad price, I thought.
No, not a bad price, and bring some good form from. Have a look at a couple of runs back. He beat Hong Kong about 3 lengths, and he also beat quite a nice horse in Bequena, and also ran through to Don't Shoot at Bar. It was a little bit short for him. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. I don't know how he's doing in Joburg. And incidentally, there is another Joburg runner that's had only one run in P, and that in the form of number 14, Vegas High Rides. So, but I do know that Exquisite is working very well, and is expected to run a big race and just about win it. So that is fancied. My lurker in the pack is number 9, Sweet and True. I wouldn't be leaving that out of anything at 14 or 16-1. Loves the course and distance. And then obviously you've got all these Joburg horses that you have to respect, including number 12, Surfer. So yeah, try and load up. I've only gone 4, 5, 8 and 9, but I'm sure there's many others that can win it if those 4 don't come to the party. So load up here for the people that are playing pick sixes. You want to have as many horses as you can afford in this league.
Okay, got all that. Thanks, Nino, for all the information today. Hopefully it's a good day. Much appreciated. 4, 5, 8 and 9. You heard thumbs up on the 4, Exquisite, so that is fancied, but there's a recommended trifecta in what does appear to be quite a tricky race.